The days are getting longer, the temperature is slowly getting warmer, and life is starting to wake up again. Yep, spring is just about here, at least in the Northern Hemisphere anyway. To celebrate, I'm starting a new seasonal special, so in this video I'm giving you a bunch of king things to read this spring. Hi everyone, I'm Dave Musson, at Dave Musson on Instagram, and welcome to my channel. This is the place where we're talking all things Stephen King. Now, normally I spend these videos giving you 19 reasons to read each of every single book that Stephen King has ever written, but occasionally I throw out some specials, and that's what I'm doing in this one. If you like what you see in this video, do check out what else is on my channel. You might find something else you enjoy, and hey, maybe consider subscribing as well so you don't miss anything in the future. So as I mentioned, this video is one of my specials, and the credit for this one actually goes to one of you guys watching. In particular, Fionn Kerwin, or Finn Kerwin. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce your first name. Google told me it was both, so apologies if I've got it wrong. And hey, maybe let me know in the comments which one is the correct one, Finn/Finn, okay? Anyway, that particular person left a comment on my movie special, which you can check out up here, suggesting some ideas for King things to read in winter and then for subsequent seasons. Well, as you can probably tell, I wasn't quite sharp enough to get the winter one done, but I did leave myself enough time to start with spring, and moving forward for the rest of the year, there's going to be seasonal specials for every season. So thank you to Fionn for letting me have that idea, and I hope you enjoy what I've come up with. So this is going to be a short and sharp one, but it is one of the specials, which means there's no spoilers. It's just me giving you some King things to read this spring. So hope you enjoy, and let me know your favourite Stephen King stories to read at this time of year in the comments. Okay, let's go. So I'm going to start with Carrie. Now, of course, there's plenty of spring vibes in Carrie. The prom, the standout event in this book, takes place in May, and there's just general spring vibes throughout. The end of school year in sight, the promise of summer and what lies beyond it, and of course the blossoming of new powers in our lead character. Perfect reading ahead of your own prom season, right? So next up, a short story found in Nightmares and Dreamscapes called Home Delivery, which again is perfect for spring. Spring is traditionally a time of new life, so a story about a woman preparing to give birth, that fits in, right? Doesn't it? Sure. I mean, yeah, there's zombies as well, but don't let the details get in the way. So next up, a novella, Rita Hayworth and Shawshank Redemption. So when I sat down to think about this special, the obvious starting point was Different Seasoned, the book, of course, in which this novella was first published. And this one feels like the go-to choice. After all, it is the spring choice in Different Seasons. Hope Springs Eternal is the subtitle of this. And yeah, you know, it kind of works. It's not like the whole story takes place in spring. After all, Andy and Red and the other inmates are inside for quite a long time. But it does work with the spring vibes. That whole emphasis on hope, the potential of new beginnings, yeah, it all ticks it off. And also, mild spoiler alert, although if you've got this far in life and without realising what happens, well, I don't know, I apologise. But crawling through a tunnel to emerge on the other side into a life of freedom, that's kind of like getting through winter and emerging in spring, isn't it? So a slightly random choice for you next, but I've gone for Mr. Mercedes. Now, the Carnage event at the start of this book takes place in April, so it is actually sort of set in spring, or at least some of it is. And other than that, I don't know, it doesn't feel tied to any other particular season. It just gives me spring-type vibes. No idea why, just does. So another short story for you now, one that was in Night Shift, and I'm talking, of course, about Strawberry Spring. Now, it's a perfect story for one of those spring days when you inadvertently feel like you've been thrust back into winter. You know, those days when winter just tries to have a little bite at you on the way out. Strawberry Spring is perfect for those kind of days. And it's perfect for those kind of days because that's the sort of setting for the story. That gives the backdrop for a cracking little creepy whodunit that's well worth reading. And if you get a chance, do check out the podcast adaptation of Strawberry Spring that came out last year. Considering it was recorded under lockdown and all done remotely, they did a pretty good job with it. So lastly, told you this was going to be a quick one. I've gone for The Long Walk, which of course you can find in the Bachman books. It's another shoe-in for this special, pun mildly intended, because The Long Walk starts on 1st of May. And what's better at this time of year than going for a nice walk? Very few things. Now, just keep walking. No, don't stop. Keep going. Keep going. So there we go, a short and sharp selection of King things to read in spring. Let me know your favourite stories from both of our favourite authors at this time of year in the comments below. I'd love to hear your choices because there's bound to be ones that I've completely missed out. If you enjoyed this video, there's more specials on my channel and there's all the regular videos where I'm going through each book in chronological order and giving you 19 reasons to read every single one. We're up to 2001 I think at the moment, so there's lots for you to explore if you haven't done so already. And if you do enjoy what's on my channel, maybe consider subscribing so you don't miss anything in the future. And if you want to come and say hi on Instagram and talk King and share ideas, I'm at Dave Musson and I'm always happy to hear from you. So as I mentioned at the start, there are going to be more seasonal specials later in the year. The summer one will come up in a few months, but we'll be going back onto a book episode next, so hopefully I'll see you for that. But otherwise, enjoy the weather, take care, and I will see you soon.